I spilled coffee on myself. Very on brand.
They're not going to see it from here. He, she's, and theys, welcome back to Gears and Queers. I'm Jake.
And I'm Chris, and due to a clerical error at Toyota Motor Company, we have two 2021 Toyota Supras for the week.
So today, we're going to lead you through the differences between this 2021 2-liter and the 2021 3-liter, which has some updates as well. So,
let's get into it.
let's talk about the exterior, which is arguably our favorite part of the Supra. So, looks are subjective, right? I think it looks fantastic. It's one of the most unique shapes on the road. It definitely draws attention. People thumbs up, honk. People have asked me about it endlessly. But I mean, underneath this is a Z4. The hard points are the same as a Z4. It's a Toyota shape draped over a BMW chassis, but I think it's pretty successful. However, there's not many differences between the 3-liter and the 2-liter. We're talking wheels, which I prefer the 3-liter. You might prefer the 2-liter. I don't know. Pick your flavor. They're both finished in tungsten silver, but I think this design gets a lot of flack for a couple of reasons. One being the amount of fake vents that are on this car. Now, Toyota claims this is for tuning and for aftermarket upgrades, and that you can actually pull out these vents and make them functional. You can be the judge of that. I'm not sure. They are effective in giving this car a very distinct look. The differences, again, are subtle between the two. We've got matte black mirror caps on this 3-liter premium, shiny on the 2, and then really all you can tell from the back is the difference in size of exhaust tips. So either way, in my opinion, you're getting a good looking car regardless of engine size.
Welcome to the interior of the 2021 Toyota Supra. Again, the differences between these two cars as equipped are pretty subtle. I'm in the 3-liter right now, and the main differences you're going to notice here, starting with the seats, full leather. In the 2-liter, you have leather side bolsters, but an Alcantara material in the middle. As equipped, most of the technology and features are the same. The main difference you're going to notice is this one, the premium, has a heads-up display. 2-liter, can't get it, sorry. We do have a navigation system. We have wireless Apple CarPlay. This particular car, being the premium, does have a wireless charging slot. You can't get that on the 2-liter. In terms of experience of the Supra interior, you're largely getting the same experience between both cars. Same, in my opinion, beautiful instrument cluster. From the actual perspective of the seat, some would say this is snug. I'm 5'10", I'm having a great time. We have a great steering wheel. I don't think it's too thick. Love a thinner steering wheel. We've got everything within reach that you could ever possibly want. And you might think that you would slam your head into this roofline because it's so low, but I personally have not. And Jacob hasn't either, and he's 6'2". So make it that way you will. But overall, I think it's a very nice place to be. We're kind of towing the line between luxury and sport, which I think is exactly what this car wants to do. And it does smell like a BMW, but that's not a bad thing. Looking out from the driver's seat of the Supra, windows are kind of tiny. The windshield especially is pretty tiny. The B-pillars, massive. Best of luck. You're not going to see anything over your shoulder in this car. But thankfully the technology is there to help you.
Well, we're starting off the 2021 3-liter premium. We are now entering Supra discourse. Let's get it out of the way. Are these BMWs?
Yes.
Is that a bad thing?
No.
You know what it means? You get a nice interior and the car feels like it's made out of one solid piece. We're moving on. So, as the name denotes, we have a 3-liter straight 6 with a single turbo. This is BMW's B58. We're working with how much horsepower?
382.
And 368 pound-feet.
A healthy smattering.
Healthy. So both cars obviously ride on the same chassis. How do we feel about the handling?
Personally, big fan. Love it. It is kind of stiff. Both cars share that sentiment in a slightly different way.
Yeah, the handling is great. This thing has a ton of grip. Michelin Pilot Super Sport tires. Feels great.
Yeah, both cars have the exact same Pilot Super Sports, just slightly different wheel sizes based on the trim.
Same width though, wheels, right?
Absolutely.
That 3-liter straight 6 is mated to a ZF 8-speed automatic. We love.
Fantastic. You get the same 8-speed in the 2-liter as well.
Yes, however, slightly different behaviors. Again, we'll get into it. But for the most part, super smooth, great tuning by BMW or Toyota, who knows. Both cars do get switchable exhaust, so Christopher, give us a little taste.
We're gonna put her into sport mode. We're gonna downshift. Everything in the car just moved.
Honestly, this thing has a fantastic exhaust note, especially from the outside. It also sounds good inside. Is it fake? It could be.
Probably a little bit of it is.
It still sounds great. What are you gonna do? Christopher, are we concerned about fuel economy in the 3-liter Supra?
You're probably not if you're buying a car like this, but it's actually not that bad.
No.
22 city, 30 highway.
Pretty damn decent. And it's not that much different from the 2-liter.
Yeah, so the 2-liter, 255 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque, and 25 city and 32 highway. Not a big difference. Not as proportional of an MPG increase as a power decrease.
Something to note. Let's circle back to that Supra controversy though. 2020 launches, whatever. Everyone's up in arms, blah, blah, blah. For 2021, we get a whole host of upgrades that Toyota says is aimed at bettering the handling and a whole bunch of other reasons. So suddenly we've got front strut mount braces, whereas before they said they didn't need them.
And we only get that in the 3-liter.
Conspiracies. They also said the dampers and everything have been completely retuned. Obviously we have not driven a 2020, but the thing still feels great.
For 2021, the Premium has Brembo brakes, which we had before, but for this year, you get a lovely Toyota Supra script on them.
So if you are totally not going to buy one because of that, don't worry, you have been well taken care of.
Your voice has been heard. One quick thing about the adaptive dampers, and I think you share this sentiment with me,
Yes.
is
Before you already say it.
before you already know, it's manageable in normal, still pretty firm. I think borderline way too much in sport.
Yeah.
Thank God you can have that sport individual and customize. You can still have the sport transmission shifting, all the other stuff. Make it how you want it.
Yeah, thankfully you can decouple things. It is still very firm. I'm not sure it's something that you would want it daily, but hey, to each their own. Let's jump in that 2-liter. God, well, we're in the 2-liter now.
Yes, we are. Let's go ahead and talk about the most notable difference, the fact that we now only have 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque.
We've had 50% of the cylinders removed, but we sort of feel like this is, what, 60% of the same experience?
I would almost call it like 75.
Okay.
Most, but not all. We only have like a 73 pound-feet of torque difference, and then the horsepower, of course, is more like 130 something. I'm not quick at math, don't judge me. But in that way, I feel like this car is still plenty powerful. You mat it on the highway and you can still get around somebody with a quickness.
Yeah, I feel like driving it most of the time, because of the torque profile, unless you get really up it, it feels almost just as quick.
Of course, the sound nowhere near the same.
No.
We're not even going to pretend. Yes, this is technically 2/3 of that engine. This is the B48, that's the B58, but it does not sound the same at all.
It's interesting though, I feel like because of this engine, I get to explore more of how amazing this chassis is. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you can actually rip on it more, like flog it all the way to red line more often and not be as obnoxious and illegal.
Yeah, you won't be in jail as quickly, but they both have a great chassis and I think they both handle great. And this, you can kind of explore that just a little bit more, at least on the street.
One thing that is notably different between the two cars, even though it's the exact same, is the transmission. They both have the same 8-speed ZF,
Yeah.
assumingly the same tuning, or at least for the large part, but in this car it feels a lot stiffer
Completely different. It's nowhere near
in
as
all
smooth.
modes. I don't understand what's going on there, but that's not the only thing that's stiffer about this car. We do not have adaptive dampers, so the suspension setup as is all you get, and we're on smaller tires, smaller wheels.
Yeah, 18s versus 19s. It feels even stiffer than the 3-liter in sport mode.
I think in that way, this car is actually a little bit worse for a daily, and which is kind of unfortunate because this is the more accessible version.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you're looking at a huge price difference, which is what? This starts at around 42. This one is around 45-ish.
Yeah, this one has a few options. The base car is $42,990, and then the base premium 3.0 that we have is $54,490. So a bit of a spread there. I think one of the biggest disappointments in the use case for the 2-liter is that it barely gets any better MPG than the 3-liter. You're getting 25 city, 32 highway in the 2-liter, but you're getting 22 city and 30 highway in the 3-liter. Yes,
Yeah.
it's different. No, it's not that much, especially for the performance delta.
The 2-liter also lacks the Brembo brakes, which to me at least, I don't really notice.
I'm not getting that big of a difference on the street. Perhaps there's like a fade trade-off on a track, which
Yeah.
of course we're not experiencing, so
However, they just don't look as cool. But
they aren't.
They don't
They're just
say
silver,
Supra.
they're not red, they don't say
Sorry.
Supra. Not to beat a dead horse, but I think I'm really disappointed in how we don't have heated seats or even full power seats in this one. The
Well-
Alcantara, I'm okay with, whatever.
yeah, I actually kind of like it.
It's kind of nice.
But it's weird, but we have power lumbar and power bolsters, but manual seats.
I would at least give me the heat. I don't need the power, give me the heat. And again, if we're talking about the technology perspective, you can get most of, but not all, of the stuff as you can in the 3-liter. We don't have the heads-up display, whether or not that's a deal breaker for you, whatever. But we also don't have the chassis braces that you get in the 3-liter under the hood.
But jury's out if those actually even do anything.
They look kind of cool.
Here's the thing, whichever one you pick, again, looks are subjective, you get a great looking car, you get a solid interior, and you get, I don't know, the sure-footedness of a BMW. And I really don't mind it.
Some would say this is the best looking BMW you can buy today, and it's a Toyota.
And those some would be us. So, if you want some highlighted features on each individual Supra, go find those videos wherever they are. And if you want to hear how they sound, there's an exhaust video as well, so go peep that.
We took care of you. Take care of us by giving us a subscription. Subscribe.
Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
Bye.